are you? Okay, it's Saturday, and if you're new to my channel, I don't edit or upload on the weekends, but this is definitely something that we needed to talk about because there has been, some chaos that's ensuing on Twitter and on social media, and it all stems around Shane Dawson. We did a video last night where we talked about the apology video where he said he was taking accountability. And it was received very mixed. I would say what I'm seeing today on Twitter is not positive for him. Obviously, I don't see everything, but the bulk of what I'm seeing is a lot of people completely upset and not necessarily buying it. So let me open up the chat. I just don't have a current moderator right now, so that's why I had it as member only. Let me just open up the chat for you guys to talk, and we can start here. For live chat, just so you guys know, I want you guys to be pretty mindful about the language you're using. Don't use the P word, R words, any foul language, that kind of stuff. All right, slow mode is going to be on, and then members only is going off, so you guys can join the chat. Okay, welcome back everyone. So let's get started. Okay, so yesterday Shane Dawson uploads this video saying taking accountability, and he claims that he is going to change, or he has changed, or he's not that person. And he talked about how there was a lot of content that was out there that was really bad, that he made mistakes, that he really didn't like that person anymore. The problem is that then he addressed the James Charles stuff and basically tried to use the same excuses that he's done in the past. Like, he literally went after James, and like on Twitter in a 4-page essay, and he claimed in his taking accountability, it was supposed to be a joke. And I'm noticing a pattern with Shane is that anytime something doesn't land and it's not received well, he classifies it as a joke. Now, I wonder if it would have been received better if he would have called it a joke, because it didn't seem very joking. And then he admitted that it wasn't a joke, but it was a joke. This is the pattern with him. He also claimed in his apology that he was sorry, but he wasn't sorry, but he was sorry, but he wasn't going to make excuses, and then he made a lot of excuses. And whether you like Shane or don't like Shane, it all came off relatively calculating, and I think it's because there's just so much out there right now. But the biggest thing that I wanted to tell you is that one of the clips that's been circulating very widely has been this thing from his podcast where he talks about this girl that he met when she was 6 years old. And in that clip, he is pretty graphic about the things that he says about this girl. And I think there's this edited clip, which is kind of unfair because the whole discussion is awful, but it did clip out the parts where he is saying, doing these things is not good. But then he puts in disclaimers. So the edited clip shows photos of Alabama Barker. And if you're not familiar with Alabama Barker is the daughter of Travis Barker. She is now 14 years old, but she did meet Shane when she was 6. She did have a very large platform, so people assumed that he was talking about Alabama Barker. Alabama is the daughter of Travis Barker and Shanna Moakler. They were married. Travis is from Blink 182. He is a drummer. He has a very large platform, and he has been very vocal about anyone saying anything about his daughter. And Shanna actually took to Instagram to call him out. But I want to show you what he's doing on his channel. So on his main channel, Shane Dawson, today he deleted 1.196 billion views from his channel. So when I looked into that, if I went through, You can see that there's just empty playlists after playlist after playlist after playlist after playlist. But I want to show you this. Nope, hold on. So this is his channel. I'm just going to pull it up in a screen grab, and I'll show you, walk you through what it looks like right now. So here's his channel as is. He's actually dropped 200,000 subscribers since he made his apology video. But when you go to his main page, he was at 3.4 before, oops, he was at 23.3 or 4 before this all started. He has hemorrhaged about 500,000 subscribers. You can't necessarily see where he's lost the channels, but if you go into playlists, you'll see here that he has gotten rid of tons of videos. If you go to the full playlist, you'll just see that he's gotten rid of everything from fan mail vlogs. He has gotten rid of everything from Ask Shane. He has gotten rid of song reviews, all of his song reviews. He has gotten rid of YouTubers, a ton from YouTubers' first videos. He had his mom and me stuff. That was all, a lot of it was really controversial, oddly. You would have not thought that, but it was. Those are all privated now. He has ones about weird kids' toys. You can see a bunch of them are privated. Shoey vlogs, he got rid of all of those. Gaming with Shane, all of those are gone. It's just, school years vlogs, those are all gone. So he really is only keeping things, like Follow Me Around, this one I thought was interesting. But it has 13 videos, but the total amount in there is I don't even know, over 100 if you just keep scrolling. So there's 139. He literally deleted, 126 videos out of Follow Me Around videos. So he is just dumping tons and tons of content, millions and millions of views that will no longer be able to be watched. But the interesting thing is I want to show you something. He has a channel where he featured Shanna, which is that character that literally everybody talks about. And this is where a lot of his very problematic videos are. They are all still up. And I combed through some of this today, and you can literally find some really offensive stuff in there, even relating to children. So Shane's getting rid of content, scrubbing. And then on his Shane TV channel, he literally got rid of everything. He got rid of everything that he ever had on that channel, where a lot of the problematic stuff. It's odd to me that he would delete all of Shane TV, but he left up It's Shanana. I mean, It's Shanana. He has some of the most disgusting content on that channel. I don't know why that content would still be up. I found some really awful stuff that related to kids on that channel. And I want to just tell you something, full disclosure. I spent tons of time this morning digging through archives, and I found a bunch of things that were really concerning. So I started a thread on Twitter, and I'm not going to show you everything, but sorry. As you can see here, where did it go? Well, that is gone, so I can't even find it. Never mind. Okay. I started a thread on Twitter, which I can't actually show you because I can't find that. But it has all of the videos that I found over the course of a long time. And some of the most concerning stuff that I found weren't things that he actually published on his channel. So what I'd like you to do is, I'm not going to put it up on my channel. I don't want to put this content out on YouTube. But if you want to see it, go to my Twitter account and you can look through the thread. I think there's like 14 or 15 clips in there. But some of the most concerning stuff actually comes from chats that he did with fans where he is ridiculously inappropriate. He is on this chat called Tiny Chat where he would be talking to kids, 10 to 16 years old. And the content of what he spoke about with these kids was so outside of acceptable, appropriate. And if I were a parent and I saw this today, if those were my kids, I would be furious, 100% furious on this. And I think the hardest thing here is that you have him making extremely suggestive stuff, like saying very suggestive things to kids that are completely not okay. This is like the kind of behavior that Onision is getting in trouble with. And the ironic part in all of this is that Onision back in 2018 basically outlined everything that we're finding right now of what Shane did, but nobody took him seriously because it's Onision and he doesn't have the best track record. So he himself has had too many problems on the platform. So nobody took him seriously when he called out Shane, but he talked about everything that's being found right now. He talked about all the stuff that he was doing on these chats with girls. But I want to show you Shanna Moakler actually. So this is Shanna is Alabama. So I'm going to back up. So that there's this clip that's going out around where Shane talks about this 6-year-old girl and he refers to her extremely inappropriately. And it's all clipped together in a way that is a little bit like it's got a narrative, but it's terrible. And Shanna actually took to her Instagram and I caught it. So it's right.
Hey everybody, so I know a lot of you guys are sending me this video of this completely creepy pedophile guy who made a podcast about my daughter. We are well aware of it, and I appreciate everybody sending it to me, but you can stop. It's so disgusting. But we are on it, her father and I just wanted to say thank you for watching out.
We go into the sheds.
Okay.
Hey everybody, so I know a lot of you...
So she says that she and her ex-husband are on it. So her ex-husband is Travis Barker. Travis Barker is from Blink-182. He has a humongous following. You don't want to get in the crosshairs of Travis Barker because he called out someone who did something similar to his daughter last year. It made headlines everywhere. You don't want to be on the receiving end of Travis Barker when it comes to his children. And so I don't know if they're going to sue him. I'm not sure what, but I don't know if they're going to pass it on to authorities. But that podcast was done in 2013 or 2014. So I'm not sure, like, what, if anything, could be done at this point. But the fact that, he is talking about Alabama. Alabama, by the way, is only 14 years old still. And in that podcast, he referred to her as sexy. And yeah, just a lot of incredibly inappropriate comments. So Shanna is commenting, Portia from, I think, The Real Housewives of Atlanta called him out. And it's, he's basically in the headlines right now. It has gone mainstream. He's on Page 6. He's on BuzzFeed. He's on every outlet. Any outlet you can think of is talking about this. And it's being spun in a way that he is taking accountability. But the stuff that is just being sort of glossed over is the amount of content that is being found. And so I think the one issue here is that it's completely different if it was like a 1 or 2 times mistake. But in this case, I was digging through stuff and it was the stuff that was happening in these tap talks or tiny chats that are deplorable. The things that he was saying to these kids, no one should say at all. Period. Like, no one should be talking about children in this way. No one should be talking to children this way. Nobody should be having these kinds of discussions. He is describing dreams. He is describing fantasies. He is describing stories from his life. He talks about his involvement in the adult industry for a day or two. Like the kind of stuff that he is talking about, it's really bad. And there are now girls that are coming forward on Twitter that are speaking out about that, talking about how uncomfortable they were during this time, all of the things in which he said. There is a fan that has been a former fan of his coming out saying that she met him and he immediately talked about her, this area. She was 13 years old. And she said that it was the most uncomfortable situation she had been in, but she was so excited to meet him. There was one account on Twitter that was putting together a thread, and there was at least 4 girls that came together that messaged this account, and they all had the same thing of like Shane using Tiny Chat to speak to them incredibly inappropriately. There's also videos of him demanding little girls dance for him, and he is very aggressive with it. And it's not like, you know, the thing is like he says all of this is under the guise of comedy, but none of that is funny. None of that is okay. Like, y'all have spent months and months and months dragging Onision for this, and that same energy of canceling Onision should 100% be directed towards Shane with the amount of stuff that's out there of what he did. And I think the problem here is that he has hurt so many people. He has caused damage to these girls. This one girl who messaged me said, "Thank you so much for helping me have a voice. Like, I have felt like I had no power because of this. I had no, who would believe me that he was saying these kinds of things." And, you know, I have a good network now of other commentary channels that are trying to get this out too. So what I would encourage you to do is go to my Twitter, and you can see everything there, all of the videos. And I will be adding things to it. It's a running thread. It has videos that are so, I can't even tell you how disgusting they are, especially the stuff that he did when he wasn't making, like the live chats he did with fans. It's so bad. It's just, you can't ignore it. You can't ignore this. And I have other commentary channels. Liam McElvoy, he shared it. Repzilla has shared it. I have asked Def Noodles to take a look at it, and I tagged Ready to Glare. I also, Repzilla said that he sent it off to Edwin and to other commentary channels. So, you know, the goal is to spread awareness about this, because there are so many kids that have no idea what they're walking into. And you guys, the most disturbing thing I found was because he says he's changed, and there's a video from April of 2020, and it's of him and Ryland. And Ryland is talking and it's from his Instagram Live. And so Shane's on his Instagram Live, and Ryland is talking about he did this dance. He had just finished watching Tiger King, and after he watched Tiger King, he decided to do this dance for a skit for Carol Baskin. But while he was doing it, apparently he ended up exposing himself. And so Ryland was like, "Well, I can't share this because I had a slip and this is so bad. I can't believe I danced for 4 hours." And Shane is literally encouraging him to share the photo. And he said, "All you have to do is just put your finger like this." So he wants him to be provocative, to show the photo of what he's doing, or the video of him. And you see the whole thing in the clip where he's got his finger over it, and you see it. And you don't see anything but the fact that he's encouraging Ryland to show this because it's funny, like a slip like that of your down here, when your majority of your fan base is young. It's just, that was 3 months ago. That was 3 months ago. You know, Shane, when you put that stuff out like that, and you say, oh, I'm just going to cover it with my finger. It's not that big of a deal. You're literally, like Rhineland is saying to you, I shouldn't share this. And you're saying, yes, you should. Why? Why would you share that? I can't understand why April 2020 is when that was put out. I don't get I'll send you a link to my Twitter post. So I'll post it up here. You guys, it's right here. You can go watch all of that stuff. If you haven't followed me on Twitter yet, make sure that you do, so that when you follow me, you can get updated on that thread. You can comment on the thread so that you see when new updates happen. 2020 is a mess, but the fact that he does still have a very young fan base, because when I'm seeing people that are interacting with him on Twitter, they're young. It's not, the majority of people following him are still not old at all, because he covers people like Shanna and Jeffrey. Jeffrey's fan base is young. If you go into Jeffrey's page, Jeffrey's fan base, they're teenagers. So are Shane's. Shane's fan base are teenagers. He has covered Jeffrey. He has covered Jake Paul. He has covered Tana. He's friends with all of these people. His primary fan base is teenagers still. So check out Jada, like Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith literally just said, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. This is huge, you guys. Let me just pull this up. I'm done with the excuses. So there is a video of him that has been shared. So Shanna spoke out, now Jada, of him simulating acts to a poster of Willow, who was 11 years old at the time. And Jada says, I am done with the excuses. And Jada has 1.4 million followers on her Twitter. And her husband, Will Smith, I wonder if Will's going to say anything. Nope, Will Smith hasn't said a thing. Will Smith doesn't even talk on Twitter. But Jada's tweet has been shared. Look at that, 36,000 likes. She shared this a half an hour ago. And you can just see there are so many comments. So here's the thing. When you piss off people that have really loyal fan bases that are relatively good humans, like Jada and Will, you're done. Jaden has. So Jaden Smith spoke out. All right, let's see, what did Jaden say? Let me get up this. So Jaden says, this man was also doing blackface on the regular. As the youth, we need to support creators who support us and morals. This is not okay. Shane Dawson, I am disgusted by you. You sexualizing an 11-year-old girl who happens to be my sister is the furthest thing from funny and not okay the slightest bit. And he also said, screaming at the top of my lungs. So it's pretty obvious that they all saw it. They must have all seen it recently, and they are done. So you're not going to be welcomed into any sort of communities ever again, Shane. You'll never hit the mainstream. You are pissing off Hollywood royalty. Will Smith and Jada are like, how many millions of... Will Smith has an enormous platform. So does Jada. Even though it doesn't look like that on Twitter, everyone knows who they are. And they have a wide network. They are friends with the Kardashians. They are friends with so many famous people that you will literally never have a job again, Shane, in the industry. I'm really frustrated that YouTube has endorsed this behavior for a very long time. Jaden's been in movies. He's been featured in some movies with his father. I think does he sing? I don't know. I wonder if we look at who has retweeted it. Let me see. I want to look at his mom's again. I want to see if anyone famous. There's Deaf Noodles. Jada Pinkett Smith responds to Shane's apology. This after several offensive videos of Shane. Repzilla, Bree, Dustin Daly. Here for the tea. I was looking for people that might be. And 70. I was looking for people that might have like check marks next to them, but I don't see many. So many people are over it. The fact that she said that is basically he's as good as toast. Why not look at his past and just his present? Well, in his present, in April, I just told you what happened. And there's no, like, what he literally did to that poster, you just you don't get it. Like, that's criminal. Like, the stuff that he's saying to these girls in these chats is criminal. Like, if someone would have reported him to police, he would have been arrested back in 2011 and 2010 and 12 and 13 when this was happening. I don't buy that this isn't still happening. It's probably more secret now, but like there's too much evidence, way too much evidence. It doesn't matter. Yep. Jeffree Star is going to watch this all burn until it's his turn. It's definitely criminal, says Daniel. So, I feel terrible for Willow, for Jaden, I feel terrible for Shanna and Travis Barker, who had to hear him talk about their daughter that way. I feel bad for the Smiths for having to hear that. I feel bad for any of the kids that he spoke to. And I want to be clear here, there's not an expiration date for that kind of behavior, period, point blank. It doesn't matter if it was 6 years ago. It doesn't matter if it was 5 years ago. There's not an expiration date for doing that to children, for talking to children like that, for promoting children like that, for using children like that, for being like that with kids. There's just literally no expiration date. It doesn't matter to me if you go to therapy or anything, because this is the kind of behavior that if it happened once or twice, I'd be like, oh, it wasn't a thing. But the fact that he not only did this on videos, but he did it in chats when he actually spoke to kids, and he was so over the top and it was so inappropriate. You have to go to my Twitter and watch what he was telling these kids. You will never look at him the same. at all. You will never look at him the same. The things that he said to these girls in these chats is disgusting. Lots of people on the platform have known about this, but the thing is it's a different time, and accountability is a huge thing right now. People are demanding accountability, specifically with the Black Lives Matters movement. So all of the stuff that he did, he still has his Shanna channel up, you guys. That there's not an expiration date for the hurt he caused, for the people that he taught that it was okay to use these words, to joke about things in this way. There's just never an expiration. And I just want to say something pretty clear here. Peter Mon, I watched him talk about this yesterday before he put out a video. And Peter Mon said it this way. He said, I got so distracted by something that was in the chat. Peter Mon was talking about Shane yesterday, and he just said that, like, there's just some things, it doesn't matter how long it's been, you're not going to forgive someone for them. You're not going to forget. He couldn't believe that he hadn't seen it. And Peter Mon, who has long been, kind to these people, he's done. You have nearly every channel that has once positively promoted him now trying, completely backpedaling, and we can't let this kind of stuff go. Where were Jada and Will while this was going? It looks like you got the word out now, so it's time to move on and jump off this topic. YouTube's not going to handle it, Sharon. So how has YouTube handled it so far? How has YouTube handled it so far? Oh, wait, they haven't. Because up until yesterday, when people were demanding an answer from him, all of this was still on his channel. All of this was still monetized. All of this was still viewable. There is still content on YouTube of him doing this stuff to kids. It is awful. But yeah, I would encourage you to watch the video on Peter Mon that he did yesterday, where he talked about how he's done with Shane and with Jeffrey. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Check out my Twitter. Make sure you go to my Twitter. If you're not following me yet on Twitter, make sure you do. I'll click it over here. The thread about him is in the pinned tab. And Jada and Will didn't know about it until today. And this is, a lot of people keep saying, like, why do you guys keep talking about it? Because if nobody's aware of it, how do you get the word out? And if girls now are coming forward and saying, well, yeah, he said those things to me and it was really bad and I'm scarred from it. I felt horrible about it. Think of all the kids that he has affected in that way. There's not an expiration date on the amount of damage you can do to a child. None. So if you're going to cancel Onision for this, y'all have to cancel Shane too. And YouTube will demonetize anyone that speaks out about him. So if you guys really want to get some noise going, tag Team YouTube on Twitter. Ask them why they're supporting him. Ask them why they're suppressing content that's negative about him. Ask them why they protect him. You want accountability, do that. Don't send hate to him. Don't target him. If you're a fan of his and this has made you upset, you're welcome to unsubscribe, or you can stay subscribed. I don't care. I'm just telling you what's happening and why I will never support him. I'm done. I will keep covering it. If you were a child that was affected and are now an adult and want your voice heard, let me know. But I'm out.